This morning, Donald Trump has secured a second presidential term. Moments ago, NBC News projected he won the state of Wisconsin, giving him the electoral votes needed for victory. He's also leading the popular vote as well. It is the third battleground state he flipped. After winning Georgia and Pennsylvania. The races in Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada are still too close to call. Vice President Kamala Harris has not yet made a statement about the race. The crowd at her Howard University watch party was asked to go home shortly before 1 a.m. Cedric Richmond, who is a co-chair of the Harris-Walz campaign, told attendees the vice president would not speak until later today. A lot to go through, a lot of questions this morning. Joe, we'll start with your take.
Well, I mean, so much to go through, so many questions. I came onto the set and Willie said, hey, by the way, because we were talking about the historic nature of this sweep.
Yeah.
And Willie said, do you know, he only lost Illinois by 4 points.
4 points.
New Jersey by 5. I mean, you talk about we had talked about a red wave 2 years ago that never materialized. This is I've got to say, this is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49 state victory in 1984. It seems every Republican across the country improved.
Donald Trump is on track to sweep the 7 battleground states. We still have 3 outstanding. We'll see how those go. But he did better almost everywhere. In every county where the hope from the Harris campaign was that she would make up ground on Joe Biden's suburbs, Donald Trump actually did better. We'll break down some of these numbers, but the gender gap was not nearly as wide as the Harris campaign needed to be, and Latino men came out in force for Donald Trump.
Boy, what a huge difference that made. And, you know, that was really just part of the stunning outcome. I mean, America, first of all, is far more to the right than any time in our lifetimes, even going back to the Reagan years. And Donald Trump won in dominating fashion. But he did that along with other Republican candidates in the Senate races and the House races. They're likely to dominate all branches of government for the next several years. And Donald Trump not only broke out through that sort of hard ceiling of 47-48%. Think about this. He became only the second Republican to win a majority of the popular vote since 1988. In 36 years. And he did so after a week of polls, most notably Ann Seltzer's revered Des Moines Register poll showed Harris making remarkable inroads among the type of voters who would swing the margin for Harris in the blue wall states. The opposite actually ended up being true. Donald Trump won in a rout across Big Ten country, taking Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin without a serious fight. And now, with expectations rising in the Harris camp in the final days of the campaign in a historic ground game, when you look at the depth of it and the reach of it, this race still ended up being over before it began. And Jonathan Lemire, I mean, it is, again, the scope and scale of this victory is sweeping. And we can focus, by the way, we can focus on Donald Trump if we would like. But this goes so far beyond Donald Trump. Make no mistake, his victory, again, historic. But you look at Republicans across the nation. You look at how handily they're winning states. As Willie said, you look at Illinois, a 4-point margin. Illinois, a 5-point margin in New Jersey. This is a Democratic Party that has been just wiped out this morning.
Yeah, Republicans steamrolled. They have captured the Senate. The House still up for grabs, but those close to Speaker Johnson think the Republicans are on track to have that as well, potentially handing Donald Trump a unified Republican Washington, D.C. when he takes office. It was stunning. We thought this election could take days to be counted. It was over late last night, early this morning now with the official call. You mentioned the Iowa poll that so many Democrats had hung so much hope on in recent days that had Harris up 3 points. Right now, the margin for Trump in Iowa is about 14 or 15 points. This is a 16 or 17 point miss.
Unbelievable.
A 16 or 17 point miss there. There was not this surge of voters breaking late to Harris as it turned. And for Donald Trump,